Let's build that authentication app with adonisjs and mysql. So we are going to use Bootstrap for this. All right. So let's get started. I'll start with creating a new project. So I'll head over to the F directory and create a new project. Adonis new uh, Bootstrap starter. All right. I create a project called Bootstrap starter. It will create our application. So in the meantime, we need to start the server. I mean MySQL server. For that, we are using XAMPP. So just starting it, we'll have the localhost phpMyAdmin in our browser to see the changes of our MySQL. All right, let's open them. Localhost phpMyAdmin. It will take some time to get everything set up. Forget about the warnings. Let's create a new DB called Bootstrap. No, maybe Adonis starter. All right, let's create it. So we have Adonis starter database here. Um, let's see. Yeah, the application is installed. So let's move to Bootstrap starter and open with your code editor. So I use Visual Studio Code. So I opened with VS Code. We can run our application using Adonis. So the all right. So our application started running. So let's go here and say we can see our application here. Let's set the layout started. So inside resources, inside views, let's create a layouts file, layouts folder, layouts. Inside layouts, let's say app.edge. All right, this is the boilerplate we are going to use for our application. All right, so let's include the Bootstrap CSS. We don't need to copy everything here. It's just the href attribute is more than enough. Let's copy this one. Go ahead and use it like how you use in Adonis. So style, that's it. It should work. Let's grab this as well. So we use script tags. I mean script to include the JavaScript. First one is jQuery and Popper. Uh, we don't need to care about that. So since script paste and finally the Bootstrap JS. All right, so we set up the basic layout. For now, let's write a container. Inside container, we'll give the section block for us. All right, we'll name it content. So our application is currently ready to use. I mean, our layout is ready to use in all the parts of our app. So if something is going to be used in every pages, we will start writing it here. All right. So that makes sense for me. Yeah, that's the end of layouts. So yeah, we get started. um like what else we need to do? um where we can start? Let's create a route and check whether our layouts is working or not. Inside start routes.js, let's clean this up. All right, route.get slash login. We'll return a view here. Let's say login. So all right, oops. Okay, let's create the view called login.h. Let's use the layout, layouts.app. Use the section block to output here, which is content, and we can write for now login. All right, so it should work. Login route should work, right? Let's check it out. Hope our server is running. All right, so slash login. Yeah, here you go. So if you go ahead and see, we have Bootstrap and jQuery included. Yeah, we are successful in creating our layouts file. Let's start moving. um, for using the login and register, I'm going to create another folder called auth. Inside auth we'll be having our login.h and register.h. All right, our login and register rates will be there, so it's pretty much the same. So let's have it right here. So in our routes, instead of doing this like that, we'll start writing route group. Route.group. We don't need this one. All right, route.group. Now we can start writing our routes. Route.login, excuse me, route.get slash login. We'll look for login controller slash login controller dot show. So we have a writer method called show. All right, and route.post for same login, and we are going to look for login controller dot login. All right, route.post slash register. We are going to do in register controller dot register. All right, register. So before post we need to get the view. So route.get slash register. We look for register controller dot show. All right, that's all we need here. Yeah, we just written that all our routes. So one view we need to do is, after login we need to show a welcome to home screen. So inside views I create a home.h. That's all we need. Inside that, it's pretty much simple. Let's copy everything here and paste. All right, that's it. Let's start building our, actually let's create our controller. Adonis make controller login controller for HTTP request. And again another controller called register controller again for HTTP requests. Alright, so now we created two. Let's create two middlewares. Adonis make middleware, let's say auth, okay, for HTTP request. Make middleware guest for HTTP request. Alright, we created two middlewares and uh, two controllers. Alright, so inside app, if you go to controllers, you'll see HTTP login and register controller. So inside login controller, we have to define our show function, show method. Alright, just we are going to show the view of the file. I mean return the view. So just return view.render dot home or the dot login. Alright, how we named it, we capitalize it, so we don't need to capitalize things, so let's change to auth. Alright, auth dot login, so the login should work now. We don't have the server running, so Adonis dev. Our login is working now. Let's copy this one and paste this in this register controller as well. Alright, so we need register. Alright, so now we are able to go to register route as well. Yeah, it's working. So just we copied it, so it's showing login. It'll take care of it at last. Alright, so that's all it. Let's create the layout. So inside views, inside layouts, we'll create a nav bar, so we can separate our nav bar, right? Nav bar dot edge. So you can use like partials if you want to, like if you have naming conventions like partial for underscores and something like that, you can use it like that, but I prefer this way. Let's go to introduction to Bootstrap and search for navbar. Navbar, we have this. So here, okay, we have something like this. Let's copy this one. Let's paste this all here. Okay, we don't need a form, search form, so let's delete this one. So what we can do, so we need this, let's have this one, right? Let's have this like home, and let's change this to register route to slash register. Let's change this to slash login. Let's change this as a login. We just delete everything except those things. Alright, delete them all, delete them all, and let's push that to right side of our application. So we have set up that our app, so let's say adonisjs here. So why not we can move to index page. All right, yeah, that's all we need. Let's go to our app.h and include them. So here we can include like um, include layouts dot navbar. Now if we go ahead and see, refresh, we should see this. So it is in the last. So just make to look nice, we'll add another uh, class inside navbar. We'll name it container class. Container. All right. Okay. Before now, we have to close this up. Let's have everything inside here. So if you are using anything like prettier, you might format Adonis edge templates. Format with Adonis edge template support. So it will give a nice uh, uh, what is formatting for our blade templating engine. I mean, not blade. It's edge. Excuse me. So yeah, that's all we need. If you go ahead and refresh here, we have our register and login. Everything we have. All right. So login, register, and everything is now somewhat working. So yeah, we have pretty much both. We have pretty much set up our both the routes. So yeah, we know that we have our middlewares and our controllers. So let's start writing the first request of register. All right. First, we have to register to test the login, right? So let's write the register route. So we have to write inside register controller and register method. So register method, let's write async register. All right. So I like to catch all the data, all the requests into the body, right? So I'll do request dot all. So we can have this. We can have all the requests into our body variable. All right. Request. Uh, we'll start include everything here when we are using it in here. All right. So that's all we need. We need to validate our fields, right? So for that we are going to use Adonis validator. So inside adonisjs.com website, go for validator. We have validator, right? So inside validator, just install the validator. Adonis install adonisjs validator. All right. It will install our validator. After installing, we need to give it in the providers array. Let's copy it and go to providers array. We have this providers array. Just copy it out. All right. So yeah. When you install the validator, it will open up in the new terminal. I mean, in the new browser tab about how to set up validators here. All right. So yeah. So that's how we can use. We are not going to use like this. We are going to write it very simple as much as possible. So yeah. So we have set up our validators. So let's start writing the register route. So let's write the rules for our um, validations, right? So we are going to use email, right? So email, it should be required, and it should be a valid email. That's it. We are having the username field, right? Username, it should be required of it should be unique as well, unique in the table users. So email should be unique as well. So unique users. All right, you don't need this much space. So all right, so lastly we need password which is required, and let's have the minimum of 5 characters. Okay, so we are done with our validation rules. To use in our validator, we have to import our validator. Const validate equals use validator. All right, so that's how we are going to use validator. So we'll start using it. Const validation equals await validate. So we have your requests and the rules of it. If you left this like this, what will do is it will throw the um, default error message that is given by Adonis. So that is not that much user friendly sometimes. So we need to write our own messages. So let's start writing that as well. All right. So email dot required email is required. All right, let's do this for username as well and password as well. Okay, and username password. All right, we can sum up in a single line, but we are going the easy way to do that, so we can get practice into it. All right, password is required. So after that, email should be unique. Unique um, email already registered, and username should be unique as well. So username dot unique, username is already used. All right, so finally uh, I think we have done with everything. Yeah, password of minimum, password dot min, password should have at least 5 characters. All right, that's all we need. So in validation, just after the rules we can pass third argument. All right, that's it. Now the validation messages will be like how we are defined it. All right, so that's it. Let's check for validation messages. If validation dot fails, all right, this validation is this one, right? So fails, let's just throw a session error message. Session with errors, not session storage. Session dot with errors, validation dot messages. Validation dot messages. All right, so we can have everything. So we have to return response dot redirect to the same page. All right, so request response, we use session as well, so session. All right, that's all we need about this. So we can start creating our new user. Const new user equals await new user. All right, so this user is a model, so we have to import our model as well. So let's go it on top. Let's do const user equals use app models and the user. All right, so that's all we need for now. Then let's do new user dot username equals body dot username. Body dot username. Remember, the body is the uh, variable where we stored all the requests. All right, here you go. Okay, so let's copy this two more time. All right, so new user dot email equal to request dot email, new user dot password. Okay, body dot password. So we can save it, write new user dot save. All right, this is how we need to, that's it. It should create our new users, right? Let's see our validations and everything are working or not before we are moving to write our login logic inside the register route. All right, for that we need to write our register routes. All right, instead of logging in here, let's write the row col excel. Okay, lg8. What it will do is, it will, in large screen and extra large screen, it will take only 8 columns if you don't know Bootstrap. Call md10 and finally call excess of everything. All right, that's all we need here. Let's use a card. All right, card body. Inside this we are going to use the form. So let's go ahead to Bootstrap and grab a form. Let's copy this one. Let's paste here. Again, we need to format this format document with edge templating engine, so that should format for us. Let's see what we got in our register page. All right, so refresh here. Our server is not running, so run is served. This will start our server again. So let's refresh here. All right, we have a form. Let's move this somewhat down and justify everything to center. All right, let's refresh again. We have everything at center. Email address, password, two fields are already having. So let's remove these IDs. We don't need them. All right, so ID, area, description, we don't need that. All right, we don't even need this. Okay, again let's copy another one. So below here, instead of email address, we should say username, type of text. All right, we should have our template ready for our application. Username, email address, and password. So before that, let's have a card title. All right, card title of text center, which is somewhat bold with saying register. Alright, let's refresh here. We have this. Alright, so this is our register uh, thing, so we can register here now. So first thing first, let's write our action slash register. Second thing will be method post. Alright, so Adonis, we need to pass our csrf token. Let's pass our csrf token as well. I mean csrf field as well. Alright, that's it. That's all about it. uh, we need name classes, right? Name, username, this should match our fields. And second thing is name, email, and mm, lastly password, name, password. Alright, I don't think we need this one, so let's delete this. Let's refresh here. Hmm. Now it is looking good. If we want to move this to center, we can do that. Alright, so it is somewhat okay for us. uh, that's all we need in the register route. So let's try it out. For that we need to migrate our table, right? Alright, let's migrate things. If you don't know about migrations, it is inside our database folder. Migrations users table is already available for us. So username, email, password is already available. So we don't need to create any models or something like that. Alright, Adonis migration. For that we need to change the env, right? I forgot, I think. Yes, we created something called Adonis starter. Uh, Connection should be MySQL. That should do. Migration run. So we said we are using MySQL, but we are not installed MySQL, right? So npm install MySQL. All right. So now migration. Yeah, our migration is done. So if we go to uh, our table, refresh again, we have users and tokens table. So user table is now empty. Let's try to register a row, right? Register a user here, right? We return our action and abstract, right? So it should work. Let's um, refresh here. Okay. Okay. What if we have errors, right? We need to show the errors. So let's go to our error should be inside our register route, login routes, and basically some everywhere in our application. All right. So everywhere in our application. So that we need to write inside our what to say, our layouts file. All right, inside layouts we have app.h. All right, let's go to include this here. After the navbar, we should have a container again. After container we should have class with empty4. Let's say empty5 as well. No, 3 is more than enough. All right, so here actually we have another class, alert. No, we don't need these classes. Okay, container empty3 after the container class, let's check if we can check whether a file has error. If error for if error for yes, we can check whether there is an error in our application. This is the Adonis thing. So we can print our error like alert, alert, danger, our error message. Again, get error for. Alright, this should um, give us an error. So let's do this here instead of there. Okay, so that it makes sense for us. Alright, let's again format this. Alright, this is our thing, so let's try it out. Give it a refresh. Now let's submit this. Email is required. Great. Let's write. This error is basically depends on the how we write the errors, right? So let's check our email username error is working. Email validation failed on email. Email validation failed on email. Alright, so we messed up something. Let's go ahead and see in register controller. Uh, no, we didn't return for our email logic, right? So let's copy it and paste this out. Email should be a valid one. Okay. Let's refresh. What about the username here? Username dot unique, username dot required. Yeah, we have everything set up here, right? So let's submit here. Email is required. Mail at mail.com and let's give a random password. Username is required. Somewhere we got it. So username, let's say Jane at dove.com, and finally we'll give only 4 characters instead of 5. It says should have 5 characters. One thing if we notice that when we click the submit, username and email address field is also clearing out. This is not the good practice. It is not a good user experience. Let's persist this username and email address here. For that, let's go to register.edge and inside input value of old username. All right, old username, and after the email, in the email, let's say value of old old email. All right, so I'll take a quick pause here to write this one, so I'll come up when the I'll come up again to check whether this is working or not.